Over the last 10,000 years there seem to have been two separate and conflicting building sentiments throughout the history of towns and cities. One is the desire to start again for a variety of reasons. An earthquake or a tidal wave may have demolished the settlement, or fire destroyed it, or the new city marks a new political beginning. The other can be likened to the effect of a magnet. Established settlements attract people, who tend to come whether or not there is any planning for their arrival. The clash between these two sentiments is evident in every established city unless its development has been almost completely accidental or is lost in history. Ultimately, in a sustainable San Francisco, almost all trips to and within the city will be on public transit, foot or bicycle, as will a good part of trips to the larger Bay region. Walking through streets designed for pedestrians and bicycles will be more pleasant than walking through those designed for the automobile. Street-front retail and commercial establishments will prosper from the large volume of foot traffic drawn to an environment enhanced by trees, appropriately designed street furniture, street lights, bicycle racks, benches, and the like, and other people. Rents and property costs will be lowered as land for off-street parking is no longer required or needed. The presentation will cover copyright's position as one of the intellectual property rights and how it differs from other intellectual property rights. It will give an overview of what copyright protects as well as what may be done with copyright-protected works without permission under permitted acts, sometimes, or so-called exceptions. It is by manipulating the restricted acts through licensing arrangements that rights owners establish and exploit commercial markets. In contrast to commercial markets, the growth of open source and open content licensing models has challenged established business models. The presentation gives a brief commentary on two of the more prominent open licensing frameworks, the new Creative Commons licenses. The United Nations is an international organization founded in 1945. Due to its unique international character and the powers vested in its founding charter, the organization can take action on a wide range of issues and provide a forum for its 193 member states to express their views through the General Assembly, the Security Council, the Economic and Social Council, and other bodies and committees. The work of the United Nations reaches every corner of the globe. Although best known for peacekeeping, peacebuilding, conflict prevention, and humanitarian assistance, there are many other ways the United Nations and its system, specialized agencies, funds, and programs affect our lives and make the world a better place. Before effective anesthetics, surgery was very crude and very painful. Before 1800, alcohol and opium had little success in easing pain during operations. Laughing gas was used in 1844 in dentistry in the USA, but failed to ease all pain and patients remained conscious. Ether, used from 1846, made patients totally unconscious and lasted a long time. However, it could make patients cough during operations and sick afterwards. It was highly flammable, and was transported in heavy glass bottles. Chloroform, used from 1847, was very effective with few side effects. However, it was difficult to get the dose right, and could kill some people because of the effect on their heart. An inhaler helped to regulate the dosage. Legal deposit existed in English law since 1662. It helps to ensure that the nation's published output, and thereby its intellectual record and future published heritage, is collected systematically to preserve the material for the use of future generations and to make it available for readers within the designated legal deposit libraries. The legal deposit libraries are the British Library, the National Library of Scotland, the National Library of Wales, the Bodleian Libraries, Oxford, and the University Library, Cambridge. In terms of population characteristics, Australia and New Zealand have much in common. Both countries have minority indigenous populations, and during the latter half of the 20th century have seen a steady stream of migrants from a variety of regions throughout the world. Both countries have experienced similar declines in fertility since the high levels recorded during the baby boom, and alongside this have enjoyed the benefits of continually improving life expectancy. One consequence of these trends is that both countries are faced with an aging population, and the associated challenge of providing appropriate care and support for this growing group within the community. The exponential growth of the Internet was heralded in the 1990s as revolutionizing the production and dissemination of information. Some people saw the Internet as a means of democratizing access to knowledge. For people concerned with African development, it seemed to offer the possibility of leapfrogging over the technology gap that separates Africa from advanced industrialized countries. However, the initial optimism about the Internet's potential to provide an enormous and ever-expanding body of publicly available knowledge has had to come to terms with material and social obstacles. If you're choosing to use the random pairing or are letting the college choose your roommate for you, you'll probably have to fill out some kind of profile or questionnaire. These usually include things like, what time do you usually go to bed? Where do you prefer to study? Do you keep your space clean, or are you more messy, etc.? When you're answering these questions, be as honest as possible. If there's something you're dead set against, e.g., a roommate who smokes, you can mark that, and you will not be paired with someone who fits that criteria. In an often cited study about counterfactuals, Medbeck, Mady and Jilovich 1995, found that bronze medalists appeared happier than silver medalists in television coverage of the 1992 Summer Olympics. Medbeck et al. Argued that bronze medalists compared themselves to fourth-place finishers, whereas silver medalists compared themselves to gold medalists. These counterfactuals were the most salient because they were either qualitatively different, gold versus silver, or categorically different, metal versus no metal, from what actually occurred. Drawing on archival data and experimental studies, we show that Olympic athletes, among others, are more likely to make counterfactual comparisons based on their prior expectations consistent with decision effect theory.